with Redmi Note 4 towards the end of last year. The Redmi Note 5 comes in 4 colors: black, gold, rose gold, and lake blue. The design has smaller borders with more display. It's a thinner body with the same battery life, and it still feels great in the hand. Now let's talk about the camera. We've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys on the cameras for Redmi Note 3 and Redmi Note 4, and we worked hard to make changes this year. A lot of people said that the camera of Redmi Note 4 was good as long as the lighting was good, but it started to struggle in low light. So we wanted to change that this year, and we made a bunch of improvements. Let me start with the rear camera. So we've upgraded the rear camera sensor to have a large 1.25 micron pixels. This helps a lot with low light photography, and it's similar to what we had in the main sensor of the Mi A1. It's one of the reasons why people loved that camera so much. And actually, this is the only phone in the segment to have these kind of pixels. So your photos will look brighter and crisper, especially in low light. And compared to Redmi Note 4, it has about 25% more pixel area. And when compared to the 1 micron pixels on Redmi Note 3, it's about 56% more light. So the low light performance on Redmi Note 5 is significantly better than our previous generation Redmi Notes. Let's take a look at a couple of snaps. This photo here, there's 2 things to notice. If you look at the sharpness on all edges here, really, really crisp, but also the dynamic range. Different petals on this building have different light. You have some parts that are in shadow, you have kind of a yellow light here, a red light here, and it all comes out well. This shows a lot of the power of our HDR algorithm. This photo is again taken in low. This image shows our contrast and again auto white balance. You can see the white color of the mushrooms, but there's still bright colors everywhere else in the image. And then even the browns look good here. So photos, and especially low light photos, are a lot better on Redmi Note 5. And it's not just the rear camera, we've also added an LED selfie light on the front. So you have better low light photos, both on the front camera and on the back camera. So now let's talk about quality. I think usually when people talk about focusing on India, they're talking about things like localization, translating the I mean, these are things that we did in MIUI 3 years ago. But the customizations that we're talking about here, the things that we did specifically for India, for Redmi Note 5, they all have to do with improving the quality. This is something that Manu talked about, and it's something that we've been focused on for the last year. Our components are sourced from first-class suppliers, and for Redmi Note 5, we raised our standards even more. Redmi Note 4 had a single pyrolytic graphite sheet, and this decreases the surface temperature on your phone by about 1 degree. In Redmi Note 5, we have dual pyrolytic graphite sheets, mouthful, dual pyrolytic graphite sheets, and this further decreases the temperature by another 1 degree to give you 2 degrees total cooler surface temperatures. This is something that we first started talking about with Mi A1, and this is something that we're continuing here with Redmi Note 5. Redmi Note 5 also comes with the charger design for India. It's a brand new charger that we had to make, and it helps handle power spikes, which are especially common here in India during the summers. Now, the operating voltage of this adapter is the same here in India to improve the quality on Redmi Note 5. Redmi Note 5 also has Gorilla Glass, which is something that I think has been asked for quite a few times.
इनकी अकल जैसे ठिकाने आएगी और ये सभी में रेड गोरिल्ला ग्लास देंगे।
At Xiaomi,
तो
we
जैसे कि आप देख
strive
रहे हैं
to
इसमें
serve the
गोरिल्ला ग्लास आ
best to
चुका
our
है।
Mi fans. Our Redmi series is built with them
जिस
in
चीज के लिए
mind.
मैं हमेशा से लड़ता आ रहा था आखिर वो
At an
मिल
honest
ही गया।
pricing.
Redmi
Every
Note
Redmi
5 में
device
गोरिल्ला
is
ग्लास है।
subjected to more than 4,000 software and hardware tests during the research and development stage. Any failed test leads to a complete redesign of the product. We run with the belief that the more tests we do, there would be fewer problems in the future. We always been the core of Xiaomi. Always can for a long time. Innovation decides how high we soar, while quality defines how far we go.
And so we use the same processor.
Welcome, bhai,
it still
welcome.
gives great power efficiency and great thermal performance. And of course, we've also kept the 4000 mAh battery, which is something that we pioneered here first with Redmi Note 3. Once you start using one of these phones, it just spoils you. It's really difficult to switch to anything else. That's Redmi Note 5. It's India's all-rounder. All right.
ये लीजिए, प्राइस आ गई है। सुन लीजिए, प्राइस क्या प्राइस हो गया, आप बताइए जल्दी से बताइए।
You can see that we took the stuff that made Redmi Note 4 such an easy phone to recommend and really made it the best-selling phone in India.
जल्दी से कमेंट करके बताइए इसकी प्राइस क्या हो सकती है, जल्दी गैस कीजिए।
4000 mAh battery, and we upgraded everything else. You have a full-screen display, 5.99 inches, in a similar size body. You have better low-light performance with a bigger pixel rear sensor and an LED selfie light. So last year, we sold the 332 version for 10,999 with Redmi Note 4.
Yay! क्या बात है भाई, 10,000 में, great.
This year, we're starting with a 3 GB version at an amazing price of 9,999. You cannot find a phone like this at that price. So the 4 GB version, which was the most popular version last year, and it is still the best-selling phone at this price.
10,000 का 3 GB का है, और
we wanted to do even better.
4 GB का मेरे ख्याल से 11,000 के आसपास होना चाहिए, 11,000। ये देखिए, 11,999। तो इसीलिए मैं कहता आ रहा हूँ कि Redmi वाले काफी अच्छे स्पेक्स दे रहे हैं। जी हाँ, 12,000 लगभग।
So again, let's take a look at the comparisons here. You have the same great phone with a bigger display, better camera, and a better price. It's awesome. We've also made an ultra slim case. It looks great, and most importantly, it actually protects your phone really well. So pretty much everybody we talk to has a case, and when we look at the reviews of some of the popular ones, they're not that great, and most of these cases are around $200 to $300.
क्या बात है?
Redmi Note 5.
देखा दोस्तों, मैं जिसकी कोशिश में लगा था, आखिर रंग ला रही है। ये कुछ फ्री देने की हो चुका है, यहाँ पर फ्री देने का। देखिए आप।
From Xiaomi, because it's our case, you know that it's high quality and the fit is really, really good. You know, I've heard from a lot of people who order our phones and then buy the case separately and have to wait a few days before the case comes, and they're protecting their phone religiously. They don't remove the plastic. I saw somebody who was carrying their Redmi Note 4 around in the box, which I thought was pretty ridiculous. So now we have the case included in all devices for free.
Wow, great.
So that's it, Redmi Note 5. It's India's all-rounder. Big upgrades to design, especially with the full-screen display. Low-light camera improvements, both to the front and back. And importantly, a lot of quality improvements, specifically here for India. And we still have the best-in-class battery life and performance. It also comes with the Ultra SIM case for free. The Redmi Note 5, it's an all-around upgrade to what is still today one of India's best-selling phones. And this photo is from a trip that we made a couple weeks ago visiting Mi fans around the country. We really believe in Redmi Note 5, but many of you have asked us for more. And so, for that, we have Redmi Note 5 Pro.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है। ग्लोबल डेब्यूट, देखिए भारत भी अब एक अच्छी प्रोडक्ट मार्केट बनता जा रहा है और ग्लोबल डेब्यूट यहाँ पर डायरेक्ट होने लगे हैं।
Global debut of Redmi Note 5 Pro. This is the
Pro
first time you'll see this anywhere in the world.
ये देखिए दोस्तों.
And again, I want to emphasize that.
यार. सॉरी दोस्तों इस बात के लिए.
Yeah, it's the first device in the world with Redmi Note 4, and this year, Snapdragon 636 with the Redmi Note 5 Pro.
क्या बात है 636 बहुत ही अच्छा है.
Just a statement. We actually launched things, new technologies here in India first, and we're really, really proud of that. So, people love the performance of Redmi Note 3, and that was because it had those flagship grade A72 cores in them. So Snapdragon 636 comes with the latest Cryo microarchitecture. And for those of you who don't know Cryo, they are Qualcomm's semi-custom CPU based on ARM Cortex technologies. Now these Cryo cores were previously exclusive to 800 series phones, things like the Snapdragon 820 and the Snapdragon 835. And Snapdragon 636 comes with Cryo 260. These are based on the flagship grade ARM A73 core. And here's some of the benefits that you can see here. It has up to 50% better performance and is almost 40% more power efficient. And Cryo 260 isn't just about peak performance. It's also a huge improvement to sustained performance. So you have flagship performance for a long period of time because it's optimized for efficiency. And Snapdragon 636 comes with 4 performance Cryo cores, and this is the only phone anywhere near this price which has
दोस्तों Redmi Note 5 और Redmi Note 5 Pro बहुत ही अच्छे साबित होने वाले हैं. मैं आपको पहले से ही इसका कुछ बता दूं.
You might have seen this before.
यार.
But what does this all mean in practice? What do we actually get? Of course, we ran Antutu on it, and I think the results are pretty cool.
क्या बात है.
So we listened.
दोस्तों जो Antutu करके जो एक ऐप है, इससे हम अपने जो भी आपका मोबाइल जो भी आपकी डिवाइस है उससे उसका स्कोर निकाल सकते हैं कि किस लेवल में आता है दूसरे फोन के कंपेयर में.
Completely destroys the performance of any phone in this segment. If you want performance or power, Redmi Note 5 Pro is the only phone to get. And if we compare it to the Snapdragon 625 and Redmi Note 4, it has over 59% better performance on Antutu. Now, 8X A53s are great, but for flagship grade performance, you need the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So last year, we talked about 14nm FinFET, and this is the reason why we avoided some other CPUs that you guys had asked us for. We spent a lot of time talking about the benefits. And so we worked with Qualcomm, and we waited for Snapdragon 636, because it has the best of both worlds. The raw performance of Cryo, along with the efficiency, thermal performance, and battery life from 14nm FinFET. The Redmi Note 5 Pro with Snapdragon 636, it has flagship DNA, and it still has 14nm FinFET for thermal performance and battery life. We worked closely with our friends at Qualcomm to make this product. Larry Paulson, the president of Qualcomm India, is here today. Thank you so much for your hard work and support. And Larry was kind enough to share this quote with us on our collaboration. We're proud to collaborate with Xiaomi for the global debut of the Qualcomm Snapdragon 636 mobile platform. Porting our latest Qualcomm Cryo semi-custom CPU, Snapdragon 636 makes Redmi Note 5 Pro a true performance beast. Thank you very much, Larry. We totally agree, by the way. So it's the best of both worlds. And we think it's exactly what you've been asking us for. Best-in-class performance in the Redmi Note series. But we're not done with performance yet. Redmi Note 5 Pro also has up to 6 gigabytes of RAM.
Very good. Good, good. Xiaomi good.
This is the first time ever in a Redmi series. 6 gigabytes of RAM. But it's not just about the size. We've also used the fastest type of RAM available in the market, LPDDR4X RAM. This is the same kind of RAM that you'll find in any flagship phone today. It's up to 35% more power efficient compared to LPDDR3 RAM, which is what you find in most phones in this price range. And it's 20% more power efficient than LPDDR4. Redmi Note 5 Pro has amazing performance. Snapdragon 636 and up to 6 gigabytes of incredibly fast LPDDR4X RAM. It is the most powerful Redmi Note ever, and it is by far the most powerful phone that you can get anywhere near this price. All right, now let's talk about design. Just like Redmi Note 5, Redmi Note 5 Pro is beautiful. So we have another great product video to show you, so let's take a look at that.
Wow, dual camera.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I was getting some feedback there. Redmi Note 5 Pro, it's beautiful and modern. We have a similar tapered back cover to what we have in Redmi Note 5, and it curves perfectly in the edges. And if you'll notice in the demo zone, the corners are also a little bit different on Redmi Note 5 Pro. It fits really comfortably in your hands. Here's the gold version. Again, elegant gold on the back with the white front. But probably more the Valentine's Day pairing of the lake blue and rose gold. Actually, personally, I prefer the rose gold version. It looks really elegant. Again, check it out in person in a little bit. So here are all four. Lake blue, black, gold, and rose gold. But the real reason why you should buy this phone, the real true power of this phone, is the camera. Redmi Note 5 Pro is India's camera beast. It's got great performance, but the camera is awesome. And I can confidently say that this is the best camera of any smartphone that we've shipped here in India. So let's start first with the rear camera. The Redmi Note 5 Pro has a dual camera. I got a bunch of claps for that in the video. It's the first time we've ever shipped a dual camera in a Redmi Note smartphone. And it's a 12 megapixel IMX486 sensor from Sony, the main sensor. And the secondary sensor is a 5 megapixel color sensor to capture depth information. The rear camera comes with a portrait mode. And while the dual camera helps, as many of you know, software is as important, if not more important than hardware.
दोस्तों यहाँ पर बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही है
when it comes to camera performance. And so we've been working on an AI-based computing engine specifically for our cameras. We have a camera team in our Meet Brain division. And for portrait mode, we use a process called semantic segmentation. This is based on our powerful deep learning algorithm. So semantic segmentation tries to understand and break down an image at a pixel level. It separates each pixel in a photo and tries to assign it to specific objects. So here, when you're in a portrait mode, there's two main objects. There's the object in the foreground, which is the person, and there's everything else in the background. And because of semantic segmentation, we can accurately determine which pixel goes where. So we know what's part of the foreground, and we can beautifully blur out the background.
Bokeh effect.
So let's take a look at some of these rear camera photos. That's pretty awesome, right? We started with this one because you can see the depth effect is really good.
Okay, bhai, no problem. सभी अपनी तरीके से सब देख सकते हैं, बढ़िया.
But importantly, the sensor quality shows up here in the details on his shirt. It's white on white, but you can still make out the details and the texture of his shirt pretty well. Here's another one. Again, the edge detection of our algorithm is really, really good. If you notice here, particularly around the hair and the shoulders where the image starts to get dark, it's actually still sharp, and this is because of the semantic segmentation. So the background is rightly blurred, but the important details are still sharp and in focus. Now this photo is a favorite of a guy on our team. It really matches his personality, I think. It captures this guy's fun, playful, but yet serious spirit. All right, so all of the photos I just showed you were taken without any special equipment, of course. But the thing that makes the Redmi Note 5 Pro camera awesome, and the thing I want to emphasize, is that it makes it easy for anybody to take these types of photos. And the next few photos are by me fans, not professional photographers, although some of you might be professional photographers. And they're really cool. So this photo shows the portrait mode. And it's not difficult to use, but also important to note that this is on an object. This isn't on a person. The portrait mode works well on many different types of objects. Here again is another shot to show our HDR algorithm. All of these rocks are in focus, and there's beautiful colors everywhere in the image. This next photo is I think my favorite. I mean, look at that photo. This looks like it was taken on a DSLR, and this was not taken by a professional photographer. And the interesting thing here is there's actually 4 people in this photo. There's 2 people over there on the left, and there's a person right behind the baby in the foreground. And yet, he is still in focus. Everything is blurred correctly. Even the edges here are sharp. It's pretty amazing. This is the power of AI-based semantic segmentation that we have in this camera. I think this next thing you guys will like. For videos, Redmi Note 5 Pro comes with EIS.
Wow, बहुत बढ़िया. Very good.
So that one, we heard your feedback. Put it in here. So now let's talk about the front camera. And actually, I think the front camera is even better than the rear camera. Yeah, this is probably my favorite. This one or the swing is probably my favorite image of the ones we showed today. But this is particularly impressive because it's taken on a front camera. The bokeh effect is really good. You have good colors, deep blacks on her hair, her dress, her shirt comes out, the reds are nice. But again, importantly, there are 2 people in this photo. and the portrait mode is applied correctly. This is a major stumbling for many, many different cameras which have portrait modes. So how do we do this? Well, this is our first phone ever which ships with selfies. And as you can see from the previous image, the results are really great. Just like with the rear camera, we use our AI-based computing engine to make this happen. But unlike the rear camera, this is done with a single camera. So the deep learning algorithms here are key. And as I mentioned, and as you all know, software is really key for a great camera. All right, so comparing Redmi Note 5 Pro to the iPhone 10 might seem like a stretch to some of you, but I encourage all of you to try it. Our algorithm is really, really, really good, especially if we zoom in here. Not only the edge detection, but the details, the hair, everything is just better. All right, so the Pixel 2 is considered one of the best cameras in the industry, and both of these images are good. But again,
दोस्तों अभी इसकी डिटेलिंग सारी की जा रही है कि क्या चीज़ इसमें अच्छी दे रखी है, क्या और उसमें अच्छा बना दिया इन्होंने। तो मैं आपको इसकी सारी डिटेल, जो भी इसकी स्पेसिफिकेशन और इसकी प्राइस और जो भी है, मैं सभी एक अच्छे वीडियो में बनाकर आपको जल्दी से जल्दी देने की कोशिश करूँगा। तो अभी के लिए फ़िलहाल मैं इस लाइव स्ट्रीम को बंद करने जा रहा हूँ। और आप सभी के लिए, जैसे कि मैंने कहा था कि Redmi Note 5 आने वाला है, कई लोगों ने मुझे अपोज किया कि नहीं भाई Redmi Note 5 आ नहीं सकता है, और Redmi Note 5 आज आपके सामने है। उसके साथ इसका एक और बड़ा भाई आ गया Pro, और ये दोनों बहुत ही अच्छे स्पेक्स के और बहुत ही अच्छी प्राइस के साथ आए हैं। तो देखिए सोनी का, वाह, सोनी का इन्होंने देखिए कितना बड़े सेंसर लगा रखा है। ऐसा लग नहीं रहा है कि मुझे ये लाइव स्ट्रीम बंद करनी जाए, क्योंकि ये एक के बाद एक अच्छे से स्पेक्स दिखाए जा रहे हैं।